Hello everyone, I'm Bishi, and today we are hopefully going to be able to play the Great Eastern Chronicles. I say hopefully, only because my bitrate is still being really wonky. Alright, more voice acting. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine. Okay. How either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck, without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see? We're innocent, I tell you! Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? I mean, yeah. Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Huh, well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich! Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. So, right now... refuting the accusation. Right now, we are trying, I guess, to say that maybe Fair Play and the Hatter are in on it, and they are part of the murder. I don't think that's what happened, personally. I think this is like another way to kind of steer us away from the truth. But basically, at the moment, they are testifying to prove their innocence, and we are proving they are not innocent. Or maybe just that they're lying, really. I feel... my theory from yesterday, which I still think, is that the victim was actually going into the cabin to murder McGilded, which is the accused, because he owed him a bunch of money, and the day that he... The day the victim died, who owed money, he was supposed to pay all his debt back. So I think that's what happened, and then McGilded defended himself, maybe, and did kill him, but not just to murder the guy, but because he was trying to kill him. But then it turned out that that guy became the victim. So anyway, I think something like that happened, so he dropped down through the skylight. I don't think that he was stabbed and then fell down, but that's kind of what they're thinking right now in the game. And that Fair Play and the other guy are guilty of killing him and then dropping him through the skylight, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, honestly. We'll see. We'll see. All right, we were the only two people on the roof, dead or alive. I can swear to that.
Hold it!
Okay. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. Dickon! Huh? What'd you call me? No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Okay. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Ah. 'Tis all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. Ah, I saw you with my own eyes. This is going so well. And see, I think McGilded is trying to cover something up. He is lying about something, but I don't know how much yet. All right, so Banker claims that he only saw... that only... him and Hatter were on the roof. That's something he said. And he also claims that he saw the Gilded and the victim talking. Okay. Okay. Oops, sorry. That was me! If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other would have noticed?
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus, at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly? Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of a joke? He said. Is that what this is? I like how he translated for him. Translating British. Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. But doesn't that mean that your eyeballs would freeze? That would not be comfortable. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies, and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie! I saw you through the glass! You were talking to someone. Talking to someone? Now, 'twas a cold night, so it was. Okay, so they might be telling the truth. They both said they saw him talking to someone, and that's consistent. Okay, so... They saw McGilded talking to someone, so... It could have been the little girl, it could have been... the little girl or the victim. That's the question. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things! Seeing things! So mad. I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. Ugh, you! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. Poor guy. Oh my goodness, welcome in, Zoe. Howdy. How you doing? I hope everybody's having a good Friday, by the way, and has a good weekend. I made it despite the fact that I almost laughed a lung out thanks to a Korok-related incident from a VOD, which is something just straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. The things people are doing to those little guys! I did attach a rocket to one the other day, but it was to get him somewhere. It was not to terrorize him. Okay? It was to help him get to where he needed to go. Oh. Korok-related incident. We'll put that on the insurance claim. Okay, in any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Yeah, I believe that. Bishi! I did it, I did. You rocketed a Korok? You better have that on video somewhere. I don't remember if I recorded it. I gotta check. Oh, the funniest part is she didn't mean to terrorize him. She was trying to help him and just kept on going wrong. That has happened to me. That has happened. Oh my god. Get to where he needed to go. Heaven. No! Never. I had no reason to kill him. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Loom, no! Not once, never! He'd never met the man before, he said. Never! And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentleman. who were inside the cabin. But he has pursuit.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing for you for? What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay. Has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. Oh, I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? A sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another? Arrgh. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? I'm sorry, is the banker gnawing in my left ear right now? Do you mind not doing that in my left ear, sir? Could you gnaw, maybe, like, in none of my ears? Why is he just, like, gnawing in the background? I hate it. Yes, he is. He's like a little ear rodent. I don't like it. You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head? Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, it's still just an apprentice. Oh, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as thrice-fired Mason. Oh. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence afore, my lord. Hmm? Oh, this you mean? Is the hat from the Hatter? I can't help thinking that the poor fella's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh! That's one of my hats. Oh, shit. Okay, victim. Victim's hat is from first. Okay. Got it. There's a gnawing sound effect. There was a second ago. The guy on the left here gnaws on his cane sometimes, and it just sounds like a rabbit chewing something. Terrible. Oh, I'm eating ice cream, and for a millisecond, I thought you were talking to me. Stop chewing that ice cream in my ear. Please don't chew ice cream. I guess unless there's, like, I don't know, like Rocky Road. You do chew Rocky Road, actually. But if it's a purely, smooth consistency, chewing is not the word I would use. It has chocolate chips, okay. So technically, there's a chew. There's a chew factor. I accidentally thunked a Korok against a stone pillar once when I was moving it around and felt so bad. I can't fathom the things people are doing, but they're still funny. They're funny, but like, so terrible. Oh, a Snap Cube. Oh, I love Snap Cube. I saw something earlier where someone made like a freight truck and put it on there like a moving truck. Yeah. It made me laugh so hard. Oh my god. So many good videos. Okay, so that's one of his hats. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I'd wager, you could have had a weak quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. I think that's stretching it. There's that gnawing. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely. Oh, sorry. I'm doing the Irish, like, high note at the end for everybody else now. It's really hard for me to switch between the different voices with the Irish thrown in there. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Arr! You're the weasel. You're the one gnawing on the frickin'... He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been through it in... Oh, thorough. Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me... Little interruption hold up the proceedings. Hat Hunter awarded. The skylight was shut the entire time. I think there was something else. Let me do this all the way through and not pursue. You never met him before. No prior dealings. Neither of us have a connection to the gentleman. That's right. This is about motive, and we had none. No, motive, And, well, that's not all, is it? The skylight was shut the entire time. We couldn't possibly have opened it. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. See? It's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. Okay, because it's closed now, it's never been opened? So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the ting, you understand. Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? Yeah, please. I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. Why are you telling me this? This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Ew! Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did. Alright. Are you expecting me to sentence you? I'm gonna turn on sound effects because I know what you all are dying to do. Go ahead. Thank you. I'm turning them off now. No, they could stay on. And they were only off because I forgot to turn them back on. Okay. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that... that cabin of shame. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame. Okay, so you can't open it from the inside of the cabin, but I'm pretty sure you can open it from the outside, which is what we're arguing. So pursue. She has something to say. Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. A skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? Oh my god. Hello? Oh, them skylights open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, okay, enough. You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags, and I had a great haul. I mean, I had buses coming out me ears. Mr. Straw, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the hat catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck? We already knew that. Bailiff, climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Yep. Oh, my hat! The thing is, the hat guy didn't know it opened from the top. Like, it was pretty obvious that he didn't know. He acted legitimately surprised, so, skylight only opens from the top. The hatter, and maybe banker, didn't know this. But, the kid did. Okay. She is baby, let her be. Why is she loading a weapon in court? Technically, it's like a smoke bomb, so it wouldn't hurt anyone, but yeah, I don't know why they let her have that. I don't know why. See? Order, order! So, it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens, and from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Okay. Let's go look. And then this is the last one, so I can't forget to press that. But let's examine. The skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. Okay. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Okay, they would have been able to see clearly. Okay. What is that? Is that new? Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look! Just here! Look at this! That's, without question, it's blood. Why would there be a bloodstain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Okay, the details have been updated. The scene of the crime. There's a bloodstain visible on the frame of the skylight when it's open. Ah, so the skylight was definitely used the night of the murder. And then, can I do anything new with this yet? That's blood, isn't it? Something wrong. This bloodstain is so obvious, and yet he made no mention of it. Yeah, I have a bad feeling. Okay, so that's what we've discovered is that blood up there. Oh, I meant to leave. Back. Okay. So now that that's updated, let's press on this and see what we can do. Proof. That's right. I demand to hear it. We came here to say what we saw, I tell you. Not for this. But you call us both... Shysters? Brand us as criminals. You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment, there's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in such much the same position as one another here. Ugh. If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. Thank you first for translating English into English. So useful. I wonder if these two men really were involved in some way. I couldn't say. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Although by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here. I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial. Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury. So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, precisely. We did find the blood. Okay, so what do we present the blood to? We're the only two people up there. It might be the first one. If anything happened while when we were sitting, don't you think we would have noticed? Maybe to that one, even. Yeah, not that one. Oh, this one. The skylight was shut the entire time. That is what we can prove is a lie. It was opened at some point. So we'll present to that. I will save first. Haven't saved yet today. Oh, did I pronounce it right? Thank goodness. First is doing what he can, and that is, Your Honor, his best. Okay, present the bus.
Objection!
There we go. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof. Here, in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? I'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Alright, right here.
Got it!
Got it! By Jupiter! Is that blood? This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. I'm going to write this down. So the blood on the skylight proves the incident occurred, the skylight was open. Okay? What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Okay. Oh my. And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Order, order!
Hold it!
What? But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? Now that is fake. It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies. My fellow jury members, I think we could all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. They're swayed so easily. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three, then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Uh-huh. A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. Okay, so I knew that the blood on the floor was fake, but I didn't know if the blood on the skylight was fake. Okay. So maybe they did open and check the skylight. I don't remember if I was able to open the skylight before this myself, so I just didn't remember if it was there or not. All right.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. What? What a palaver. I must say, I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus Begilded, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? He lies! Hey, Caramel. Welcome in. Howdy. Where did they get the jurors from? The doofus convention? Oh my god. They're just swayed with every statement that anyone makes. He's guilty! Oh, he's not guilty anymore, is he? Oh, wait, no, he is guilty! Oh no, I don't think he's guilty anymore. How many times have they swapped opinions? Like 5 times already each? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, Counsel? Hmm? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But, if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, Counsel? It's true, it's not. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. That's not true. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible. We're telling the truth here! Could have been possible. The jury has to be the dumbest jury in this series. Is what I would say if any other games had a jury. So technically, they are the smartest as well. Well then. Could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh! Good gracious! Explain yourself, Counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. Bang! What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos. That spin! It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. That dramatic spin. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me! 'Tis a wicked plot! 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is!
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies, such as... To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. Yeah, I'm gonna write these down. So, inconsistencies with us. I think I know all of them, but we have the compartment or the cubby was not empty before. The police investigated the omnibus. This compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. We did look in the compartment, but I don't remember if we looked at the skylight. Okay, and then the skylight didn't have blood. Before? He learned the spin from Sholmes. Yes, yes. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Yes. My lord. Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back. Silence, McGilded. Court awaits the defense's clarification. Yeah, he's mad because he's the one that put it there. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is this legend mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Right here.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But, as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. And I feel like even though the skylight and the floor blood are fake, I still think that he could have jumped through the skylight, but he wasn't stabbed before he jumped through. I really do think that he was stabbed after he got into the omnibus. Good lord. His little toupee. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there is at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. He's just trying to do the right thing. Yep, McGilded is pissed. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded? I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. 'Tis over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there now. Oh, well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really all right for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... the defendant could be guilty. He could be. I don't think he's 100% innocent. I think he's involved in tampering with evidence. I don't know if that means he stabbed the guy. I don't know if it means that he killed him out of self-defense or killed him out of, like, just wanting to murder him. I don't know. Is this the first time a defendant is a villain? Well, I don't know if he is a villain yet. So I don't know. I have a feeling he is, but I haven't gotten that confirmed yet. Could be guilty. But if he is the villain, I think it would be the first, but I don't know. I haven't played all the games anyway. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me! Oh, you're right. On Guard was a villain. Yeah, so that has happened before. I didn't remember that. I honestly don't even remember how it turned out. My memory is so bad. Oh, McGilded's name is like a pun for the Gilded Age. Oh, that's true. Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question. Are you of sound mind? That's his laugh. Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. She just threw it at my face. It's like a 3D movie. Your job here's done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was... how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. That's how he laughs. I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You, mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely paw. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
Oh? But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Maybe he doesn't care. Lord Van Zieks. My lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. Oh, wow. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zieks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. Culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What? Wow. Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? It is the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief! You've more to say to me, have ye? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty. I don't feel satisfied at all. I'm usually like, yay, we did it! Confetti and fireworks! I'm like... Man... I can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. I don't know about that. The courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day. The judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. Wow. With the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly a victory for us. I don't feel victorious. Welcome in, Dan. That's it. I know, right? It feels very anticlimactic. Anticlimactic. Barrick Van Daddy. Van Zaddy! Oh, sorry, you said Zaddy. It feels like the court failed. I guess that's the point, to make it feel disappointing. Yeah, huh? I won, but at what cost? Yeah. This case gives you the deadpans for like an hour. Oh. Okay, 18th of February, 5:14 p.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Miss Susato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did! Oh, great. Mr. McGilded. Ah, and that girl is with him, too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh? What stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure yous must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Wah! Ha! 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 Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? I did I walk out of there a free man then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Wah! Ha! 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 There's water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absonant deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I've absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Wah, ha, ha, ha. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no. I couldn't possibly accept that much. Oh, me whist! You're a humble people, are ye? You from the east. Well, you insist. But have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? It's sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There was some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. And as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. Was an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. That's weird. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Oh my god! Put that away! Takes her like a full minute to load it. Don't move! Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry? And I ain't all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Oh, sorry. There you are. Naughty, naughty, running off like that. I just default to like a medium voice when there's question marks. There's this little adorable creature here. Should I keep that voice? What do you think? She got pearled. I have done that before. I gave Pearl like a demon voice. The child has arrived. Pearl 2.0. Yes. Okay, I have one yes. Otherwise, let me think of another voice. It can either be that, or it can be
naughty, naughty, running off like that.
What do you think? Which one? A or B? I like the theme happening right now. Let me catch up with chat. You can tell they had all the other experience of the previous games to make cases more interesting and a bit more of a nuisance. If I walk into the antechamber and start beating him with his own bag of coins, then what? Guess it's part of the test for Rio, right? Rio, take the goddamn money, yeah. I think you stop being an upstanding member of society once you're accused of murder, as a general rule, but alas, yeah. Alas! A B, partial to the deep voice. I vote the deep voice. A, voting deep voice. The child voice is so cute, but she does need a deep voice. Child voice was really good. I heard it like, hello? Oh. Okay, how about this? I think technically the deep voice won. Well, hold on, let me count. Okay, so B, A, and then Zoe's kind of in between, and then another B. Yeah, so technically it won. But I could also do both. I could do like what I do with Pearly. I could do like the little kid voice, and I'll find moments to do the deep voice. How about that? We can do both. And then maybe in the future I'll forget and I'll just do one or the other. Oh, naughty, naughty, running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha!
Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me! Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor?
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
A what's it what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory.
What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults.
Come along then. Follow me.
Fine. Have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours. Her outfit's really cute. I love her hair.
We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
She was a lively one. Have it your way, Burger King.
Well, you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh,
we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but
our youthfulness will see us through. I don't know about that. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Don't cry!
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or a mansion. Should have just taken the money, you silly. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, oh boy. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, Ace was far from over.
What's going on?
Hello?
Get the fire brigade!
They burned it down?
What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed. No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Who the hell is in there?
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
Who the hell was in there? Another murder? What the hell? End. We finished episode 3! I was wondering if I'd finish it today. Oh wow. Yeah, that did not end at all the way that I expected. I thought that he was gonna tamper even more with the evidence when he went in there. I didn't even think that he would destroy the damn thing. And that someone died, probably. Oh my god. What an interesting, like, first actual trial. I know we had the first one, which was like the tutorial case, and then the second one, there wasn't really a trial. It was more like all investigation. This one is such a, like, a weird entry. Like, you're defending this person that by the end of it, you're pretty convinced they're the bad guy. But then you still find them not guilty, and now this. There is an answer if you want to know. I don't think they tell you. Really? I'll keep going for now. If there's not even like a hint of who died in there or whatever, I'll ask. That's so weird. Why would they not tell you who died in there? I'll wait a bit. Yeah, just wait to tell me. Focuses on Van Zeeks while someone's getting killed. I was thinking like, oh, he looks so pretty here. They do tell you later. Okay, yeah. So just let me figure it out then. You'd think they would run and pull the door open. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, with how much fire there was, they probably wouldn't be able to get close enough to do it, I guess. But yeah, it didn't seem like anyone was trying. I was like, aren't you gonna help that person? Gosh. Sounds like Santa. Yeah, he does. There was Dracula, huh? Foams at the mouth and animation student. Just sleep in the courthouse. Yeah, just find a bench somewhere. Okay. Oh my god. Someone was burning to death and you were looking at a hot Dracula? They put him there, didn't they? Oh no. Okay, gonna save. And we're only about halfway through the stream, so let's keep going. Ooh. Yeah, so we have done... the last one? Oh, okay, I'm not gonna look at that. We've done the Adventure of the Great Departure. That was the basically tutorial case. Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. We just did the Adventure of the Runaway Room, and now we are doing the Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Oh, the Clouded Heart? Alright, episode 4. Can you skip ahead or something? Okay, episode 4, let's do it. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in
It was the
my
first time he
direction,
ever thought.
that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Okay. Sholmes thinks? That's news to me. Alright. 19th February, 9:47 a.m., British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious.
I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night.
What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Burya, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other.
Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking.
In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill.
I really am sorry.
Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodgings straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less.
London is a scary place. Good morning to you at this early hour. Yep. He's back! Foxy Grandpa. If Van Zieks does anything, he's innocent with the exception of that, but I can change him. I could change him. Oh, yes, well...
Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday.
Sato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices.
Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh, no longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern island.
Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now.
Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case? Already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for?
The truth, maybe?
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by the court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended.
Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry?
What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial.
No!
What? Mr. McGilded is dead? So he was the one in the bus? Excuse me? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
Well, if he was guilty, now he's dead. But I still don't know if it was him, you know? I don't know if he was the one that killed him. And that's so weird. So, like, did someone murder him? He died an innocent man, that's the thing. Yeah, that's true.
He died with a good name. Okay, well, let's talk to you about it. McGilded's death.
Did he leave us in his will? Oh my god, did he leave us an inheritance? That'd be so nice of him.
I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No.
How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already... Police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. That's awful. The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. The bailiff really needs to pay more attention.
And how could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus.
Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. Asked if I could be present for it myself. An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who is Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded.
He wasn't poor.
He was rich, silly!
Okay, British court. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was wow! So bad with words.
Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old.
Wow, Susato-san has such a way with words.
And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones.
The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
Oh. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple.
Maybe he's paid off. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. And we only did because he tampered with the evidence. Something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. Yeah, I don't trust him. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much, at least, is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he going to say before? New case. Van Zieks looks suspicious. He threatened him in a way at the end of the trial, but who knows? I don't know. The irony is, he had a choice if he wanted to be there for the inspection, and it's his need to look more innocent that got him killed. I feel bad for him if he was innocent. That's the thing, like, he seemed pretty guilty, but it could have been a red herring, and he really, really didn't do it. But He was acting really suspicious, so maybe he was involved in tampering with evidence, but that doesn't mean that he did do it, so... we don't know. Okay, so now we gotta shift gears. Get it? Because there's gears up there. And think about the new case.
Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned?
Don't tell me. It's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry. It's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different.
Oh, I see.
Did he just read my mind? We do have applause, actually. We do have a clap sound effect. We do. Oh, we don't have a slow clap, though. But we do have applause. That is to say, no one has died as yet. I also have this. Oh, we have that, too! Yeah, we have that. And we also have that. Which also works. And then we have this. Yeah. No one has died yet, he says. And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Oh, so the trial's tomorrow then?
Is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I was just looking at chat and getting psychic damage, that's all. Just a little confused. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah, yes. I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense.
Oh.
If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant.
Yes, that's right. Ugh, here we go again. Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There is something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds.
Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And, there's another thing.
Oh. Another thing. Continue.
On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me, there's something very important that I have to do.
Something very important. And what exactly would that be?
He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. Oh, when did you get there? I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details.
How long has he been there?
So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell.
Chat uses psychic damage. It's very effective.
The song sounded like a Mario Kart song. A little bit, yeah. Psychic attack causes 100 HP of damage 400 seconds per use. It's like a MMO ability. God. Oh, hey, a guy. Yeah, there's a guy with a bowler hat over there. So many hats. So many. Isn't it interesting how, at least like in American culture in the US, like in the 20s, everyone wore hats all the time. And now you just kind of wear it whenever you feel like. But like back then, like you couldn't be outside without wearing a hat. I just think that's interesting. I love that everyone reads the lines so quickly as if the time was actually running out. Well, you know, that's probably how he's talking, because he only has 30 seconds. All right. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Maybe he just always looks like that. What's that in his hand? Chips? Has he got some chips? I can only examine. Okay. I think so. I think it's fish and chips. Could we trouble you? Oh my god! Infinite fish and chips! Where the hell did you get that? In a newspaper. It's in a newspaper. Got some fucking chips in it. Chips cheat code. It's like the infinite chocolate that Tumblr tried to make people, convince people was real. I was so dumb. I still remember that. I was like, are you kidding me? People actually thought you could make chocolate infinitely from a chocolate bar because of how you cut it. I was like, it's an animation. They're making the chocolate, like, go up and increase in size so that it looks like... Oh, not the infinite chocolate. That has done psychic damage to me. Yeah. Yeah. Just the fact that everybody was like, oh my god! Huh? I did it too when I played the thing. It's like the human urge to be a neurotic chihuahua for a second. Infinite chips, lads! Could we trouble you? Oh. What do you think? Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? Oh. Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Oh my god. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English jet eaten out of your hand, you know? Oh, but Susato-san told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man! I'm a very busy man! He's pecking it like a bird! Why are you eating like that? Jesus Christ! I say! There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying, Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well.
I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer.
Eh?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant,
Eh?
It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine.
Unbelievable.
How did she pull it off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. His name is Greg.
Gregson? Inspector Gregson?
Son of Greg!
What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her?
Inspector Gregson. Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? Back to Infinite Fish and Chip. You're acting like you know this man, Mr. Sato, but he's a London detective.
Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact.
Very well.
Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, of course.
Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Grant's Magazine?
That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry.
Oh. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible. He's acting like Mr. Sholmes is impressive. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time.
Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words.
That's his highest praise?
Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he is not. And thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now.
That's great, isn't it?
I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the Yard went through the roof.
Well, that's wonderful.
No, it is not! There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure.
Rumors? Are you quite sure?
He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head.
Stuff like that.
Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you?
Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Eggs is eggs is eggs.
I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people.
The case. Let's do a save, too.
Might as well. Politeness, the finest weapon.
Tatters, or taters, like potatoes. Gregson, another Holmes boyo. So another reference to Sherlock Holmes. Okay. I didn't even know that he had a rival named Gregson. Or is it actually Gregson in the original, or is Gregson like an approximation of the name to avoid copyright?
Chocolate? I remember chocolate. I always hated it.
Oh. He's like our gumshoe stand-in. Maybe. We shall see. Or Ryu.
Son of Greg, where's the chips, lad?
Eggs is eggs, lads. Eggs is eggs. Oh, it is Gregson. Oh no, Tobias Gregson is a rival of Lestrade? Okay, I'm confused. Oh, he exists in original Holmes, but he's a minor character. Okay. Lestrade was not an anime teenage girl in the original. Color me surprised. Welcome back, PC Man. I was making a small project in my workshop. Super happy I'm able to do it so quickly. Yes, congrats. Congrats. Sounds cool. Is there a reason British food has the wackiest names? Maybe British people are the wackiest. Maybe British people are the wackiest people. I don't know. I mean, we have things that sound very, very weird here. There's something called a garbage plate. I forget where it is. I gotta look it up. Hold on. Hold on. What is the origin? Hold on. But I know that that's something we have in the US. It's kind of like an icon food in New York. So see, we have some things that sound kind of weird, you know? We have some weird... I'll admit. I'm gonna look that one up, Dan. Yeah. So Britain has a Cullen skink. Oh, Scotland is one of Scotland's most famous dishes, a hearty soup with smoked haddock. Huh. I had not heard of that. Fish, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Some of the words in, like, the article, I, like, don't know what they mean. It's just, like, an authentic will use Finnan Hattie. Uh-huh. I'm just nodding my head, yeah. Gooseberry fool is another. Just a fool for gooseberries. Who else is a fool for gooseberries? Yeah, there's a dish called bangers and mash. I recently found out that PB&J is just a US thing. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Just smile and nod. Uh-huh. Okay, the case. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the Yard, it couldn't be simpler.
Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated.
I wish you were wrong about that. I have a nasty feeling you're right.
A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she still laid up in hospital unconscious.
Okay, so she was stabbed but lived.
That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind?
I suppose you would have finished whoever it was off with a Susato takedown, would you?
That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo.
Brace yourself, Ryunosuke. You've angered her now.
Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest.
So, there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit?
Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question?
Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one.
Sorry?
There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now.
Why ever not?
Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Beric Van Zeeks.
No!
Not again! Not more vampire zaddy! Sounds like you've heard of him then.
Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zeeks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself.
The Reaper of the Bailey. Alright, Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Beric Van Zeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday.
Mr. McGill told us about him before the trial, didn't he?
When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. This Reaper of the Bailey nickname, I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty, is that it? And the thing is, technically we broke his streak the other day, right?
Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty.
Huh. And what of it?
Oh, well, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant.
No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? He just put it in his pocket. What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead.
Ah.
Magnus McGilded came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying?
Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker.
But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic.
He's a vampire!
He's a vampire and he kills anyone that isn't found guilty. Oh my god.
I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that? So everyone thinks he did it.
Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips, even though they're infinite. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. Still carrying out a few investigations there.
It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place.
Alright, let's take some notes here. So I gotta make a new note, actually, because we are in a new episode. Alright, episode 4. Notes. Victim is a woman stabbed from behind on Briar Road. Survived. Whoops, sorry. I keep doing that! Okay. Goodness. Okay. That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already? He's as good as. Shaking like a leaf in his cell, he is. It'll give you a chuckle, if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. Alright. Can catch up with chat. America does or doesn't have shit on... Oh, America has a food that's called shit on a shingle. What the what is that? We were talking about weird food names earlier. Is this really an American thing? Okay, hold on. It is creamed chipped beef on toast. This sounds like a British thing. Is this really from my country? I'm ashamed! A breakfast staple. Really? I think it's a southern thing. I guess British people wouldn't call something shit on a shingle. That name itself is American. Let's see. It's a retro wartime recipe made with white bread, dried Buddig beef slices, and white gravy, which was easy to find when rations were low. Apparently it's really good. You know what I had on toast this morning? A beautiful fried egg made by my spousey. I'd prefer that over what I just looked at. I thought toad in the hole was a weird food name. Let me look up that one. It's also called sausage toad. It's an English dish with sausages in a Yorkshire pudding batter. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Yorkshire pudding. Usually served with gravy and vegetables. It looks very silly. Like, the sausages are not cut up at all. It's just whole sausages and bread. Who did this? They were literally like, okay, I make the batter, I put it in a pan, okay, let's throw some sausages in there. Have y'all seen what figgy pudding looks like? I've heard of figgy pudding because of a Christmas song. I've never had it. I'm seeing like 3 different pictures. They all look completely different. Oh no, I see. It kind of looks like, it's like an upside down cake. Like a, well, not upside down cake, but it's like a dome cake. Circle cake? I don't know what the hell, you know. I don't know what these are. It's kind of like if they did a fruit cake, but instead of a log, it's a dome. That's what the texture looks like. It's not pudding, that's for sure. It's bread! Dressed herring looks wild. Huh. What is this? It kind of looks like a cake. It's also called herring under a fur coat. It's a layered salad with diced pickled herring, Covered with layers of grated boiled eggs, vegetables, onions, and mayonnaise. I'm gonna close the tab now. I really try not to be judgmental with food. I really try not to. So I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. If you want to know a weird dish with a weird name, look up a dog and search for gold. What the hell are all these dishes? Oh, I think I found it. It's like a fancy restaurant that like makes food more of an art than like something you eat, you know? Like you eat it, but like it's an art piece. White truffle croquettes that are on an iPad that's playing videos of dogs hunting for truffles. All right. Okay. This is why the movie The Menu exists. Exactly. I was thinking of that. I was trying to remember the name. Oh, served on an iPad. We have a sandwich that's just called ass. Wow. So you could say that when you eat that sandwich, you're eating ass. Why did my controller disconnect again? The silence is everyone's disappointment in me. It's everyone's disappointment. I didn't say anything. I didn't finish my sentence. I misclicked. I accidentally pressed a button. And I didn't finish my sentence. Didn't you all see that? She almost swore. Shit. Oh, because it's made from the butt of a pig. That's why it's called that? Huh. We've been like talking about food for so long. I'm gonna get back to playing. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recalled the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. And I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try. So I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm gonna save. You're eating what now? Thank you for the clip. Ryu craves justice. Justice! Okay, move. So we can go to Briar Road, or we can go to the prison. I want to meet the suspect. I want to see who we're representing. Let's do that. We still haven't been here yet. I wonder what awaits us. Okay. "19th of February, local prison, cell 9. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Don't cry. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. But it's so dark at the back, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like.
Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once.
Am I? Am I a cat, as yet with no name? Calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea. But I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. What? Oh. Hello? What's up with your eyebrows? Why are they, seesawing there? Excuse me, but who— Shh! Quiet! Okay. He is shaking. He's adjusting his mustache. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now. I can sense it. Right. So, could I ask you who exactly— There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. Ghost? So nervous. We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams! Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land! So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment! Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Ah, what compassion my fellow countrymen show. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon! A first-class lawyer? Oh dear. I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can! I will! Shan't! Stay! Sullen! And silent! I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume! Soseki Natsume. Alright. Shoo. I'm gonna some notes. So, Natsume is used. And he is Japanese. Alright. Oh, this guy. Oh, him. He accidentally shaved his eyebrows off and badly drew them back on. You can't just ask the man what's wrong with his brows. Why not? This guy is probably this game's baby girl for many in the fandom, really. This guy needs not just a nap, but hibernation. Natsume was also a real person. Okay. The Conan Doyle estate wouldn't let them use the name of a fictional character because he showed emotion. But the family of Natsume Soseki, a real man, was like, do whatever you want, man. Oh, alright. Alright. Gosh. Alright, Soseki Natsume. Soseki Natsume-san? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? Oh, okay, so it's not his real name.
That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No, no, no! Don't be so prosaic! It's much more refined than that! And haiku? That really reminds me of home.
Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery. And now this! It's beyond the pale! Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No! I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But! Just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No!
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable! I see. Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi!
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. The accusation against you.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder!
Murder?
Oh, no, it's all right. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes!
Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear. It seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient! So, Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker.
Okay.
If you remember, Natsume was in one of the Ishin sub-stories.
Oh!
He was a writer and lit English professor. The same guy that Ryoma met with and helped write his books.
Okay.
Wow. Isn't that so funny? And like, I knew there was going to be some similarities because they're all taking place in the same time period. Ishin and this game that I'm playing at the same time. That's so funny. Just as manic here as he was at Ishin. Oh, famous for the books Kokoro and I Am a Cat. That's why he said the cat thing at the beginning. And that's why the case is called, Cloudy Kokoro.
Oh.
And also known for having the worst time of his life during the years he spent in London. Oh my god. And he did write haikus. In Japanese, is he perhaps constantly saying haiku? Does anyone know? Oh yeah, probably. Bishi went somewhat close to meeting Soseki in 2 different universes in a short period of time. Like only a 20-year difference between the 2 games. Something like that. Yeah, I think so. Wow. When you met the guy in Ishin, I was close to exploding because I wasn't gonna bring it up. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's a cool surprise, you know? Alright. He didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about the case.
About the case. It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure the bookshop wasn't accursed too? As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh my god! How terrible! I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran, as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English, and a young woman at that? I'm different, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people! I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? Hmm? What conundrum? Conundrum! He really said, "I'm shy," while yelling at the top of his lungs. What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? It was a ghost! Maybe. Well, what if... Oh, if what Soseki-san has said just told... I'm so sorry. Well, Soseki, what if has told just us is true? Explain can't. There's something I... How does that meme go? Car, man, hook, door, hand? If what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. I did! Speaking of which, speaking of Bishi saying things wrong, Ruuuvo, do you remember all the words that I tried to say when I was trying to think of the Rube Goldberg machine? And the only reason I'm remembering the term Rube Goldberg is because I literally talked about it yesterday. Every time I try to remember what a Rube Goldberg machine is called, which is basically like, you know, the Home Alone stuff, like it'll be like a whole contraption just to get like a marble into like a cup, or it'll be a machine that like makes your coffee for you automatically because of all the mechanisms on like a wall that's made of like wood and toys and random things. Anyway, I reference it every so often when I'm just having a conversation, and I literally can never remember that it's called Rube Goldberg machine. I say things like, I don't know if Ruuuvo can help me remember, but I don't know, like, Rube Goldie something, I don't know. I can't even remember the things I would say that was wrong. But it's always off and just a ridiculous sentence that doesn't make any sense. I can never remember. Ruuuvo, help. Rube Goldilocks? Yeah, something like that. Like, just dumb stuff. Because I can never remember the name. It's that approximate knowledge of many things that I have. Where I know the thing in my head, but I cannot tell you the name of it, you know? Carman Hook Hand? Is that how it goes? Something like that. I think door is included? I don't know. Ruuuvo Goldberg machine? Why did they call it oven when you in the cold food, out hot eat the food? That's another good one. Yes. Maybe Ruuuvo is sleeping. I did! Oh, okay, thank you. The Rugberg, the gold rube machine, the Berg Rube, the Rub Gold, something like that. Okay, thank you, yeah. Just like similar, but not at all. Whoopi Goldberg machine. Gold Rube, yeah. Rub Gold, huh? The gold boob machine. Now that's a machine I could get behind. It's like you were right there, but couldn't quite get it. Yeah. Booba. Gold boob. Gold booba. Gold booba machine. Oh god. Alright, I'm actually out of water and we still have about an hour left to stream. So I'm gonna go take a very, very short break to go and procure some more agua. I will be back in less than 5 minutes and then we'll play more Ace Attorney for the Raiders. Before y'all came in, I was telling a story about how I can never remember the name of the gold... Oh no. The gold Ruuberg? The gold Ruuberg, is that machine? Oh no, it's happening? It is gold, oh, Rube Goldberg. It literally happened! I was just saying that I can't remember the name of the Rube Goldberg machine, ever, when I'm ever trying to talk about it. And I bring it up like, you know, every few months or so, it'll just come up in conversation. And I can never remember the name. So I was just saying, like, I always say some weird approximation of the name. Ruuuvo typed them in chat. Let me see. And I just said one too. I did not do that on purpose. I literally could not think of the name again. And I just said it before stream. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Where was Ruuvo's message? I've said things like the Rugberg, the gold Rube machine, the Berg Rube, the Rub Gold, Rube Gold, yeah. Stuff like that. So yeah. That's what we were talking about. And then I joked the gold boob machine, and then everyone clung to that one because I said boob. I'm gonna sticky note it to your monitor. Rube Goldberg. Rube Goldberg. Golden Rubeberg. Yeah, I was saying Rubeberg, and I was like, that's not right. Actually, the artist's name was Rube Goldberg, but the machine was Goldbergstein's monster. Oh, you're doing actually? My favorite dog breed are golden Rube retrievers. Let's get back to Ace Attorney. We still got some time to play the game. So we're gonna do it and have fun on a Friday night. Yeah, thank you again for the raid, Brian. I super duper appreciate it. Very kind of you to bring your folks in here. And I totally understand the lurk because I wasn't gonna get spoiled for this game either. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it when you get around to playing it. All right, let's do it. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Ah, you! What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. God, he's got the shakes. Oops. Perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Yeah, I think with the blue text, he's actually just kind of whispering or muttering out loud. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? That's true. So that's the real conundrum that she was talking about. If there was only... Natsume and the victim, how police find out or arrest him. Yeah. No witnesses. Okay. No witnesses. How did the police discover that he was there? Oh yes, she's right. It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me! Of all the bad luck. Accursed great detective? Could it be? I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live, with his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busybody begone! May you be cursed until the end of your days, Hairlock Sholmes! He's back. I knew it! Mr. Sholmes? Sherlock Sholmes. The boy is back. The boy is back in town. The boy is back in town. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. "This is the police. Put the weapon down." Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting, dietary, discrimination, devils! You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That! Sherlock Sholmes! It's actually just Sherlock Sholmes. He's English. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman! Me? This weak, stooped kitten of a man? I like all the cat references. I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. So you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flammery! Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes, alright, yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. A student? I have defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. He's feeling imposter syndrome. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers. All the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me. Goodness. Why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And, of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. That's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. Man, you could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. So we can't talk anymore. Okay. All right. My goodness, what happens if I present this? What do you think? Yes, the symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me. Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't why I was showing it to you. Then why else would you show me that? Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. Okay, move. Briar Road is next. Gold rupee machine. Money. This poor man. I know. I feel really bad for him. Himbo Sholmes. I think we're gonna see him next. He's a cat boy, or rather, a cat man? Cat man. Alright. 19th February, Briar Road. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Just noticed I'm like off screen. Okay. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Hee, of course. I have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Oh my god. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, the stone-cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Okay. So let's talk to him and then, well, I guess let's look around first, but I don't know if he'll let us. At least you get to investigate this time. I know, right? Now we can try to find our own clues. Investigate the snowman. Maybe he did it. Guilty! What a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy, though. Oh, it has a scarf, look! You would need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know. You're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. I mean, you could take it and dry it off somewhere. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh, no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs, despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Ugh. Hey? This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Huh. Oh, just investigating. Conspiring with that mustached fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an hiding. Hiding? Go on. You shoot us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think. Maybe, smack him over the head with a frying pan. What a disappointing experience. Jeez. Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows, then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious. Susato's a little wild. Okay, I think that's it, unless, like, any of the background has something. But I don't think so. Oh, there's actually more on the left, it looks like. I almost forgot. Alright. Let's just go like... Oh, I can look over here. Clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? It's the pollution! And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as Foggy London Town. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though. Aha! Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently, it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? Why can't I say that? I can't even begin to imagine it. Okay, the road? There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo, and dressed all in black. I worry coachmen might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Chimney? You see all the black smoke rising from the chimneys over there? It says here that in Great Britain, many people heat their homes in winter using coal. The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan... Oh, sorry. The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan were on top of the bathhouse. Do you think some of those houses could be on fire? Not at all. Well, even so, that much thick smoke billowing up to the heavens is surely going to turn the whole sky black sooner or later. I don't even remember where my buttons are. Gosh, you may be right about that. Oh. Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled with bricks. Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah! I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. What the hell? Okay.
Rio is small.
Rio small, confirmed! Oh, the windows are broken on the above the door, too.
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here.
We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. There's a bicycle with a broken wheel.
Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dresses to allow them to ride as well.
Bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that.
Goodness,
Do you dislike bicycles?
no!
Not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know that you would agree with me.
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
That sounds very cute! And I think that's it. Alright. Okay. Now let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Scotland Yard.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part. Seeing that policeman there with his helmet on, you certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
They were so mean to you, like 10 minutes ago. Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes round and rouses all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yup. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is. It sounds like a long way.
Let me see. Yeah, they wouldn't use miles.
20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh my.
And I suppose in between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. About the case. It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital.
I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
The local map has been entered into the court record. A street map of the local area showing where the victim was found.
Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but
just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present.
could have been someone that he didn't see. I mean, it could have been someone that just threw a knife at her from an alleyway, you know? Let me see. We've got Mearsham Street, Briar Road, and Calabash Road. Okay. And it was like right around an intersection of another road that doesn't have a name. X marks the spot. He just shoves the fish and chips right into his jacket pocket. I know! There must be so many crumbs in there. It's disgusting. Sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. Did what? Oh, there was another witness? We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. Ah, there's two witnesses. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now? Okay, witnesses. Turns out the infinite chips are not only rolled in the newspaper, but also his pocket. Just loose fish, fried fish, in his pocket. That would smell so bad. Witnesses. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? The fellow and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Oh. Ah. A policeman? That might change things. Ooh.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging the act and all.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions?
Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to.
That's that, then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
Policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too.
So sassy.
Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
There goes the fish and chips in the pocket again. What are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. I guess let's say this now. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes's inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle!
Ah!
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh.
I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble.
Huh.
Ever seen this before?
Oh, yes. That's Ranced Magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called Great Detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the Great Detective and the police have a complex relationship. Tomorrow's trial.
That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well, I think I just accidentally muted myself. I think only just now when I wasn't talking. I don't know if I, like, cut off my mic. I was just trying to go back. Hey, Jake, welcome in. Howdy. Sholmes is such a clown, affectionate and derogatory. Simultaneously. But yeah, welcome in, Jake. Hope you're having a good Friday. How's it going? I am currently in episode 4 of the Great Eastern Chronicles. I actually just finished episode 3 earlier today, so I just finished a case, and now we're getting started with the 4th one. And I haven't seen Herlock Sholmes yet, but I think he'll pop up eventually. Is it just me, or has Bishi been quiet the past 15 minutes? I would be devastated.
But I know it's not the case.
I know it's not. But yeah, like, the way that my setup is now, I moved my microphone so it's actually in front of me when I speak instead of kind of like off to the side, just to get a better quality sound. But that also means it kind of blocks things, because it's kind of just in front of my face, so it blocks like my stream deck and it blocks my keyboard a little bit. So if I'm muted, I have to kind of like move my head around the mic to see that. So it is possible I could accidentally mute my mic and not realize at first, so yeah, hasn't happened yet, but... Hey Kazzy, welcome in. Howdy. Hope you're having a good Friday. It's going well. I've had a pretty chill day, chipping away at Star Wars Jedi some more. I've had the best time with it so far. I'm glad you're having a good time. I've been hearing about people playing the new Star Wars game. I myself have been chipping away at Tears of the Kingdom. It's all I can play right now when I'm not streaming. And we're just really taking our time with it and exploring everything and finding all the little secrets and things. And I love Zelda so much, and I think this is a great game so far. I haven't even gotten like very deep into the story, and I'm already like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, you know? But I'm glad you're having a good time with Star Wars Jedi. I'm glad. Why does Twitch use an API that doesn't have a meaningful error handling? Huh. Giving you trouble. I'm sorry. Always good to have those games to keep to yourself and take at your own pace. Yeah, I was thinking about streaming Tears of the Kingdom when it first came out, like a few months ago. But then as I got closer, I was just like, I have so many games I'm playing through right now that I like don't want to take a break from, because I'm already gonna be taking a break from this game to finish up a couple of other games. So I was like, it's just gonna be too many games to keep track of, and I don't know. I just kind of wanted to have something to play off stream, and for me and Ruuuvo just to have a good time with it. I'm considering maybe playing it on stream in the future. Like with a new save file or something, or even like to just show off our old save file when we're like closer to beating the game or something. I don't know. I'm considering that, but yeah, I definitely just wanted to start it on my own and have fun with it. Can't make it too easy. It's not seeing messages, but doesn't give me information as to why. Oh, that sucks. What the heck? Just want to test it. Right. I'm sorry. Did I already read this part? I don't even remember. Makes no difference to me, but I will say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
Like McGill did? That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell you what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? The Lord of Darkness.
Make him sound so scary.
You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
I really shouldn't have done that voice, because, like, I can tell my, my throat is starting to hurt from all the voice acting and talking today. I really need to not do that. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it? Let's hope the pink-haired girl doesn't pop up, because then I'll have to do that voice. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Oh, take a sip, thank you. I've been trying, but... It's just cold water, so I would probably need some hot tea. It's alright. I think I'm just going to try to reach a good stopping point soon. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes. What is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Oh no! Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. Sure it's not. Sure. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even. It's Baker Street! How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage! So we're to have a reunion already, with the great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. So that's going to be moving. Okay, new location has been added. Sholmes' suite. 221 Baker Street, home and office of the most famous detective in the world. Well, not to leave y'all on a cliffhanger, but I think I'll stop it there. Because I did want to reach a stopping point, because honestly, my voice is going. It's a Friday night, and I think I want to be at a good stopping point to pick back up next time. So I don't want to be like in the middle of talking to him and not remember what was going on. So I'm going to take some extensive notes after the stream, because I don't think I'll be playing this for a few weeks now, because I want to go back and finish up some other games that I started and never finished. So we're gonna be taking a break from this for a little while. So sorry to make y'all wait for more Sherlock or Herlock Sholmes. But I'm also having to wait on it too. Trust me, I do want to keep playing, but let's go ahead and switch over here. But yes, I don't know why I was about to move my mic. I was about to put away my microphone like I've already ended stream. Because it does this, look.
you see. It's so easy. I just move it out of the way when I'm not streaming. Anyway. We don't want you to lose your voice, so we understand. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because I've done 2 streams of Ace Attorney, and I'm doing so many different kinds of voices that it just really takes a toll, when usually I'm fine after 4 hours of streaming, but...
Anyway, that's gonna be it for me tonight.
I think we should just kick Herlock Sholmes' ass when we see him. Yeah. Make him take back his statement that, that guy is guilty. Yes. Thanks for streaming. Glad I got to catch you for a bit, but no worries. Take care of that voice. Yeah, yeah. And plus, it's a good stopping point, like I said. But yeah, that's it for me this week. But I will be back next Tuesday with some more Like a Dragon-ishin, and also on Wednesday. And then I'm planning next Thursday, Friday to be finishing Crisis Core. I think I'm pretty close to being done, so I'm just gonna try to go for it next week, and hopefully we finish it. And then Saturday, I'm hoping to do the Mario Galaxy stream with a PNG tuber stream. So yeah, that's gonna be the schedule next week. Hopefully, I will let y'all know if anything changes, and I will post the schedule sometime next Tuesday in the Discord and on Twitter, if I remember. I keep forgetting to put it on Twitter. I'm just so bad at remembering, but anyway, that's it for me tonight. It's been a great stream. Thanks for streaming and voice acting the whole way through. Thank you for being here. See y'all next week. Thank you for stream. This was an absolutely wonderful stream as usual. Very excited for even more Ishin on Tuesday. Yeah, I had a lot of fun today. We had a lot of fun conversations too, even outside of playing the game. I will see y'all next Tuesday, isn't it? For some more Ishin. But I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thank y'all very, very much for hanging out with me today. Had a great time hanging out and playing games. But I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.